Hello everybody and welcome back to another Wuthering video. Today it is time to catch up on all the news, my friends. That's right, it's been a minute, but here we are with Lucilla, Lucy, and Rebecca's drip marketing for both the Cyberpunk Colab and the brand new characters coming to Wuthering Waves. That's right, my friends. Super duper exciting stuff. And of course, hey, sorry that it's been a little bit of a while ever since we did have a video. Of course, as you guys may have known, if you've been following the channel, I have been sick for the last month. I lost the ability to use my voice, and today is like my first day off of medicine, and actually able to been able to use my voice for the last 11 days, slowly but surely. But it's been a very rough struggle to have a channel like this and then not upload for about a month, and I really do apologize for that being the case. But can't do anything about being sick, just had to wait to recover. I appreciate any of you who have stuck around in the meantime. But of course, yes, let's get to it. We have a lot to cover, and of course we're going to start that with watching the Cyberpunk trailer itself, which is super duper exciting. So let's go ahead and get that done first. All right, let's see here. It's this one. All right. Wuthering Waves X Cyberpunk Edgerunners collaboration preview. Good morning, Solaris. Leave a like and subscribe, and let's get started. Oh, full screen. There we go.
Good morning,
Ooh, Night City.
It has been a solid and sturdy 30 hours since the Edgerunners made their appearance.
Look at them, they look so good. Hey, Rover's there.
Kudos to President Lucilla for making sure
Gosh, she did something? That's crazy.
And prodded like overgrown lab rats.
Rover's just here for the ride, man. Oh, look at them, the bikes. That's awesome.
Like there's no tomorrow.
Need more bike action in the last patch. The last story, I should say.
Just as the Mecha Scouts at the training ground.
Got a big gun.
Talk about ruthless. Think they could teach us a thing or two? According to Rover,
oh, Sigrika's in the back. Hello there.
Solaris's newest tunes will
dude, the animation looks amazing. They look so good.
Meanwhile, those pesky nightmare TDs have been at it again.
Yeah, graffiti buddies. Let's go. Hello, Mornier. Oh yeah, get him, get him.
Word is the Netrunner has her sights set on the moon.
Oh shoot, the moon.
Story with one
oh dude, I think I saw it 3. Oh, David.
This has been your man Stan.
Thank you, Stan. Thank you, Stan.
Join me for a dream that'll never end.
You got it. You got it. All right, yeah. So unfortunately, I haven't actually watched Cyberpunk Edgerunners. That was kind of been my plan ever since the collab was announced. Like, hey, you should probably watch Edgerunners before this collaboration comes out, and I'll originally have it done before the update itself comes out. Maybe we'll do a reaction to that. It depends. But nah, this is incredible. First off, on how quality it looks. I mean, Pro Games has really nailed getting what their game looks like into the animation side of things, and like that's pretty difficult because gameplay has a significant different set of criteria than just being able to animate a 3D model without any constraints. Like, oh, it needs to feel good, it needs to have like good functionality and stuff. So the fact that they look like this and this good is amazing. I wish I had a shot of both of them, but I don't think there's not one with them facing forward, so I'll just use this one. But they really do look like they were pulled straight out of the anime and still look good, despite not being, like 2D drawn and stuff. I think like other games, they do an okay job, like Fortnite, has like a ton of like collabs, like got like Goku, they got like Ichigo and stuff. And I personally think that they look okay, but I know that people tend to have gripes, with these things. And Wuthering Wizards does a pretty good job at translating how they look into their universe, which is pretty awesome. Oh, and I actually do remember there was this one thing. If I think, is it right here? Where is it? So I saw this online, and I don't know. It's too bad I don't have the image. Maybe I need to go closer somewhere else. But oh, maybe it's here. Maybe it's here. Hold on. Load you. Ah, okay, it's not there. But people did also notice that there was a tacit mark on the side of Lucy's body. Of course, we have the more detailed character drip marking you talk about. But for that's actually really interesting because not only do they have like tacit marks, but there's also this discussion about the moon, which is crazy because it's like this is just a collaboration. They're just trying to do like, hey, Cyberpunk is cool, new season's coming out, we get a collab for a gotcha game. It's what you do, right? But there is this whole thing about the moon, and I remember seeing a theory online, or at least comparisons, is that this is like kind of every phase of the moon like in different spaces, and
Word
unfortunately
is,
I don't have the
that one
specific
has her
reference
sights set
you know,
on
for
the
it, but
moon.
I believe this one. So you had Lahai-Roi there. This might be the Black Shores, this might be Septimon, I'm not sure.
The story
This one's the Dreamless fight,
with one
and then that black hole looking one.
runner has her
Or
sights
I wish
set on the
I wish it
moon.
didn't skip around so
Oh,
much. Come on,
the
wait
story
for it, wait
with
for it, wait for it.
one
Here, this is the thing that's sitting over Guishu Port, or that city in Jinzhou. You know, that is like that has like a bunch of floating buildings. As the Inferno Rider, that's our boy right there. But yeah, that's kind of crazy that these are kind of the things that they're focusing on, because I really don't have much expectations going into this collab outside of these characters are gonna enter the party. They're gonna have fun, show off their personalities, and then they're gonna leave. And then that's it. But you know, we have some things over here. Whether it amounts to anything or not, I mean, it would be cool,
story with
but it'd also be very awkward to have your collab characters be the one establishing important lore. But of course, we have David here, and again, once again, I haven't watched the show. Unfortunately, I will watch it soon. But you do know these characters, and seeing this is pretty interesting, because wow, David's even like looking down for like a moon base or something, so that's fun in games. I do hope David's part of the collab at least a little bit. You know, it's pretty clear that these two were the only ones that were drip marketed, so he's probably not going to be playable, unfortunately. But you know, I at least hope he gets a decent like level of interaction. You know, speaking of that stuff, was actually moved to the individual drip marketing itself. So yep. First up, we have Lucy, and I put Lucy first actually because Rebecca. You know, I have a little less to say about Rebecca without watching the show, but with Lucy, I have more to say about, because, you know, she actually exists in other games. You know, like because I play a lot of games outside of like gotcha games. You know, like Guilty Gear Strive, my friend plays that a lot, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Lucy got added to the game," so I definitely wanna, you know, you have that point of reference, there outside of that. But let's go ahead and read the stuff. Don't make a name for yourself by how you live, but how you'll die. The collaboration between Wuthering and Cyberpunk Edgerunners is arriving soon, featuring the debut collaboration exclusive 5-star Resident Evil Lucy. Stay tuned for more updates on the official channel. So also, oh yeah, there is that, because you know we don't have to think about it with Rebecca, and you'll see why in a second. But this is going to be a pullable character for Wuthering Waves and has a collaboration banner. And if I'm not mistaken, when it comes to things like BGR, um, the gotcha system is a little bit different. I think step number one is that pity's not going to carry over. So if you were planning to like, you know, build up on a on a different you know, like banner and stuff, and then like get Lucy, this is definitely not going to be the case. So, you know, too bad, so sad on that. But what I wanted to focus more on, of course, is that we also have their weapon details here. We have Lucy as a gun and Spectro, but for Lucy, like I said, since she's in other games, we do actually have a point of reference in where she does get to actually do a little bit more, you know, than just like, you know, than like not really have like, not necessarily you don't have source material for Rebecca, but it's a little bit more like things that characters can do in anime are very different from what you need to conceptualize inside a video game. It's like, oh, it's obvious. They'll just use their guns and their fists and they'll do cool kicks and stuff. What is it? No, like, you know, first off, these characters have very specific weapons, and, you know, you need to make this move cohesive. So, you know, for starters, Lucing having a gun, you know, not too much of a surprise. I've always kind of known about these laser whip things that come out of her wrist. It's very iconic. They're all over the place, you know, when it comes to like marketing these characters to getting people to watch the anime. But I am a little surprised she didn't end up being this like her primary form of attack, and we'll kind of see how she ends up using this quote-unquote gun. I mean, technically it doesn't matter because it's Wuthering Waves, because they will just put anything on top of the characters because they feel like it. But Spectral Pistols is really interesting because, me personally speaking, these characters, at least on how it is, because, you know, as we'll see, Rebecca is free. Lucy, I feel like because she's the limited banner character, should probably be like DPS first, and then you can probably have a support mechanic second, because if people are entering the game to play for Cyberpunk and Rebecca's already free, like, why exactly are people going to like pull for Lucy and like not want to like really get her potential? Because the characters that care the most about having their signature weapons, or at least in my opinion, are the main DPSs. Like, thankfully we do have some options on the standard banner, but like when it comes down to it, most likely the characters that people like really care about putting their weapons on top of them is the main DPSs. So it would be a little weird for Lucy to be, you know, more support oriented, you know, and especially trying to fit into like the niches that exist in Spectro, which is also why I'm definitely confused on why she's Spectro. Not that she can't be. It's more like we just got Luke, who is also a Spectro DPS designed for Toon Break, right? And then we also like for the other archetypes is Spectro Frazzle, and I don't think Lucy should be Spectro Frazzle. I really don't, because first off, she's a limited character, so like we'll have to shell out asteroids for this stuff. But second, like, dude, if she's Frazzle, what are we doing, man? Like, if that team has all of its stuff, and it's not like we don't need more characters to fit the role, but I don't think that's what people want, especially concerning this collab. So what I have been thinking of is, of course, as I've referenced, Lucy is in other video games, for this one here, Guilty Gear Strive, and also just a general thing about Cyberpunk, of course, because Edgerunners is a sort of spin-off of the Cyberpunk universe, is that one of the big things is that like it's Cyberpunk world, you're an android, you have the ability to like hack people because other people have cybernetics. It's the classic like, hey, if I have a self-driving car but then someone hacks it, I'm dead, basically that. And you can see here that this expends RAM just like in the game. And then what is it, you're able to put all kinds of debuffs on top of your opponent. Of course, a fighting game is very different from a gacha game, but like some of these things would definitely like not apply. It's like blocking attacks. It's like, what? I mean, like, yeah, that could be a thing with pairing, but things like Contagion, attacks deal damage over time. Energy Siphon, attacks restore your health. What is it? Lucy becomes harder to detect, could be as like a shorekeeper dodge. And if we look at actual Cyberpunk here, the same situation applies. You have different first person perspective, of course, but you have all these things: reboot optics, sonic shock, Synth burnout, short circuit, cyberware malfunction. And I think a really good way to make Lucy a healthy character, especially because her niche is not necessarily taken as a main DPS, but sort of different and diverse from the other characters, is to give her these hacking abilities. And there's seriously like there's an endless level of potential here, because of course these are related to very RPG-esque mechanics, not combat mechanics in the literal sense, but like you have all kinds of things like like I just mentioned earlier, the sort of like damage over time situation, so that could be a great thing. There's also things that reduce damage that are taken against you, which is a great way to make like a sustained type of character who doesn't really need to have too much healing. Disables movement, disables this and that. Like the options are endless, and this would kind of be a cool way to implement the thing, because this is kind of the name of your game. If you ever watch a Guilty Gear Strive match, when watching Lucy, you have to deal with all these debuffs. It's like all this BS and stuff, and that would be a great way to distinctualize Lucy, because let's say, for example, you get something like Defense Shred on top of this character, like that makes her like very distinct, because not only would it help herself obviously, but it would also help other characters. And as you upgrade the levels, maybe the percentage of her debuffs could go. And of course, her forte circuit would be the RAM meter you have here. If you want to see, yes, this one here, Cyberdeck RAM 26 and 27, that's how much you spend to activate these things. So that would definitely be a cool way to handle Lucy. But I mean, we'll see. If she ends up being like one of the standard archetypes inside Wuthering Waves, it would kind of be a mess, to be honest. I don't really know why they would do that, but that's kind of like, what is it, the most thing I have to say about Lucy. Now, that's for Lucy. And it's not that Rebecca hasn't been in other video games, but like when it comes to like like the more standout stuff, Lucy tends to be the one who's able to get in to the content, and Rebecca kind of hangs out on the side. But she is of course very popular. I think she's cool. And Big Gun, and of course the big elephant in the room, claim for free. Come on, we need to hit something. What is it? And of course the blah blah blah, and of course you can get it for free. So you really don't need to worry about pulling for her. These two are probably going to appear at the same time. Rebecca will come in as a free unit and have a pullable banner, and she is Electro Pistols. What? As Naru says in the corner here, Electro is interesting. I wonder if she should support. And I mean, I agree. Like, why are we doing Electro of all things? Look at Psyox. But yes, to be clear, Rebecca being pistols is a surprise, or at least gun type is not. It's not like the craziest thing in the world, because I don't know if you know this, but in Cyberpunk they use a lot of guns. I'm just saying. I mean, she's literally holding her shotgun. Like, come on now. Like, it's not like Rebecca is necessarily known for this, but like a lot of people suspect, especially when these characters get into collaborations, that Rebecca will use like these little fists because it's cool, like gamer gauntlet aesthetic, like it has a lot of fun, so, and of course gauntlet is a really underutilized type of weapon inside Wuthering Waves, so I think they would appreciate having those things. And Rebecca ends up being pistols as well as Lucy, which is really interesting. Again, like it makes sense, but it's also not expected. But Electro is definitely the curveball I don't think anybody expected at all, because this kind of pigeonholes Rebecca in a way, because number one, it's not that Rebecca couldn't be a main DPS, because Wuthering Waves does tend to do this, is that they have a character start out at point A being DPS, sub DPS, or support, and then as you go up, either getting their weapons or, you know, like their other items, you know, that make the character power, such as their wave bands, like, you know, that is gonna be you know, how they make a little bit more money off of you. But the thing is, for Rebecca, trying to fill her slot is very difficult, because number one, okay, here, Ultraro already exists, Shang Liao already exists, so she can't really be a DPS. Sub DPS, here's the thing, Ginlin has fallen off, but she's Electro and she boosts Electro. So Rebecca trying to take over that slot as like a coordinated attacker, probably not, right? And then we have supports. Oh, well, the thing is, there's a healer called Bu Ling who not only does Electro Flare, but also, like, you know, has crowd control, has like crit, like, you know, has buffs, etc. Not necessarily crit damage, but where do you exactly go with a character who has guns in Electro? And to be honest, I have a little bit of a theory here, because especially, you know, being that Rebecca is actually free, and I think what Rebecca is gonna be is that she is going to be possibly, like, you know, like a basically like free to play Lene. Because here's the thing, we did not get a rover at the end of this, you know, Lahai-Roi story, and people were really expecting that, like, you know, like we would get a new rover, because it makes sense. Like, why would we not have a new rover? It's kind of like the main character, like we're about to defeat the final boss, you know, like we're supposed to get superpowers, but I mean, that's because the story was rushed, we don't talk about that part. But yeah, we didn't get a new rover, and I mean, I'm personally for that, because Lahai-Roi was not the region to get new rover, but that does leave a big pigeonhole, or not little pigeonhole, that leaves a big hole in your roster, because Rover has been able to support a lot of the teams that have come out recently, and that's kind of a big deal, because Rover, both the Spectro version and the Arrow version, you know, can support DOT teams. Havoc is just, you know, period. It's a good Rover, still good today, really good. And that's kind of a big issue, that we get to this tune break area, and they basically like made you suck. It's like, listen, either you pull Lene and Mornier, or you're cooked. Like, you're just straight cooked. And Rebecca, being a free unit, definitely could fill that niche, because trying to look around all the other options that Electro has, like, she really just doesn't fit. Like, it's not that she can't eventually be someone who does a lot of main damage dealing, you know, as like, you know, a character, but still it is an issue that you do have to acknowledge with the game, you know, and kind of like role filling is as the slots fill up and up and up, these characters don't really have a place to go. And of course, Rebecca could also do like the hacking shenanigans, but I do really feel like she's definitely more styled like Lene, you know, where she's not necessarily, you know, gonna be, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna use my cybernetic enhancements to do this and that. She's gonna shoot you, man. That's how it goes. And I think that is definitely how I'd like to see it go. But yeah, that's Rebecca. And I mean, I'm really glad she's free. Thank you, Wuthering Waves, for actually giving us a free character. You know, hopefully, you know, she can do a lot of damage and stuff. And I think it definitely would be good for her to, you know, be you know, something like a miniature Lene to support Tune Break, because that is kind of an essential thing that we did not get, you know, outside of Lene, which is a really big problem, I think, for free-to-play players. So, you know, that's going to be interesting. But yeah, that's going to do it for the Cyberpunk collab characters. And of course, we do have the actual character who will be coming out on the second half, most likely. I mean, if they did all three at once, it'd be crazy. But that's right, my friends. You've been waiting for it. I've been memeing on it ever since Lahai-Roi came out in January. It's a May. 5 months in. Where did she go? That's right, my friends. It is Lucilla. Pull up that video, baby. Look at those film reels. Hell yeah. Oh, the music. Oh, baby. Let's go. Oh, man. Look at that, my friend. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, Lucilla. Let's just read and then we'll yap, okay? My dream now is just to see all my students' dreams come true. Lucilla, the president of Star Torch Academy, an idealist who tackles her matters one step at a time. She quietly watches over her students and strives to create a space where they can chase their dreams freely. And then, of course, Resonator preview. Oh, wait, you know what? I am missing a post. There is a post missing. So we took a look at that one. What is it? And then there's the video. I believe it's the video itself. Also contains extra information. Yep, here we go. I'm kind of surprised this tribe of drip marking you see in front of you, they didn't do it for Lucy or Rebecca, which is just like, I'm sure they just didn't have the assets ready, but like they were just like, oh yeah, we need to do that, and then they didn't. They got a trailer anyway, it's fine. Lucilla is the mastery of memory regression, who can extract and materialize memories. Utilizing this ability, she can even reconstruct previously experienced scenes in the events before projecting them into reality. Now, that is pretty cool. We already have seen this thing inside, the game, of course, because we had an entire quest dedicated to Lucilla. But I mean, dude, we gotta look at this drip. Like, Lucilla likes movies. Well, listen, dog, she's the movie star. Look at her, bro. She's so fine. Like, damn, holy. This character is different, but yeah, I am pretty excited for Lucilla for the most part. I mean, she was always an interesting character, and I really do not appreciate how they handled her, in the story, and especially because now that she's coming out after the Cyberpunk characters, not a lot of people are wanting to get her. But here we are with the weapon type and attribute itself, Glacio Rectifier. Now, gosh darn it. I get it. I understand why she's a rectifier. She's not really necessarily the type of person, who's gonna come out with a big sword and whatnot. But like, man, we just have so many rectifiers. Like, Denia is coming out like in like a week, and like she has a rectifier. And if you just think about like past like characters and whatnot, like there's just been so many. But I understand, and of course, Glacio has been drowning for an entire year, so getting 2 Glacio characters back to back after he's kind of is definitely a big deal. So it is cool to see Lucilla this is the case, and it would not actually surprise me if she ended up being a support for Hiyuki. Now, there is one caveat to this, and not necessarily that it detracts from this, but there is a very, very important thing, to take a look at. I believe, what is it here? What is it? Where is it? Where is it in the post? There's a thing that they said. I think maybe it's this one. No, not here. You know what? It's on the post anyways. Okay, so I usually call this out, but there is a wonderful tweet by Dave Kim, aka at French Tutor. Great for advanced Wuthering Rave guys. You should check him out. He's been doing this stuff for a while, ever since like other gacha games. But okay. Why would she be Toon Break anything to begin with? This scent is made for Toon Strain with Denia to use. Reel of Memories. Wuthering Ways. Lice of real memory and memories of life are recut. Reel of Slice Memories. Attack increased by 10%. Inflicting Toon Rupture, Shifting, or Toon Strain on enemies increases and boosts the Resonator's team by X%. Effects of the same thing do not stack. So, if you weren't aware, this Echo set currently exists in game, and I believe Denia can also use it as well. We'll see when she actually comes out. But, I mean, hey, they add an Echo set, and it's also attached to her boss, so it's like, come on now. What do you think she's going to do? But they do this, and they say, damn, beep, beep, beep. Even though we could both be right, maybe it's for Lucilla. I didn't know her drip had that as the caption. We'll know in a week or two, I guess. You don't need to wait a week or two to two and two together. You just have to have a working brain. What is it? Still being a beep, I see. I just see we'll have to have conversation in a week or two. You know what? I actually like being called that. Yeah, I bet you do. Oh my god. What are they doing on Twitter? Wait, it started as a feisty argument, and then they started flirting with each other. Hey, yo. But yes. So this is in the other drip art that we have, on the video version of this. I don't have it open. It's the same thing. It's the same damn thing. But yes, so there is a thing that's literally called Real Splice Memory. It's like, okay, Lucilla probably does this then. But the thing that is really confounding is definitely applies to the fact that she is a Glacio character coming after, Hiyuki. And obviously, Hiyuki, it's not that Chisa is necessarily doing a bad job, but you need somebody to amp that kind of damage. Like, how we have Phoebe, how we have Shakona, and that thing doesn't exist for, Glacio Shape, and that is definitely going to be a big problem for Hiyuki. Not that Hiyuki is necessarily bad, but, like, this is kind of how the design of Wuthering Wave works, and the fact that we don't have anyone, or we haven't had Glacio characters up until this point, and now suddenly, boom, Lucilla's here. She has Glacio for you, and it is definitely a big deal, but we'll see how it goes. She'll definitely be Toon Break something, and then also, have Glacio, put 2 and 2 together, right? Real Splice Memories. real memories are real at the time. Okay, Lucilla, we get it. You like movies. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. For Lucilla. Really unfortunate though that she, it's Cyberpunk Colab is super exciting, but it's really unfortunate that like this is how Lucilla has been handled as a result of them trying to condense the story into like 5 patches and really rush through things and also be on time for the Cyberpunk Colab because it's resulted and as much as I meme on it, it is true. You can count on your fingers how many pieces of drip marketing Lucilla has to keep people interested, and that's like, it's just the biggest throw ever. Like, why would you do that? You could have at least done like a chibi or something, but like outside of this, which by the way, these are all awesome. They have a piece of art for every character released in 3.0. Like these are really, really beautiful. They of course are fan works, but man, are they nice. I really do love them so much. But the fact that like Lucilla has had the most sparse strip marketing out of all, like if I scroll down here, literally there are only like 5 pieces, and some of them are like this one where she's literally just appearing in the background of like a big poster of characters, and it's ridiculous. It really is, and I really don't appreciate that's how they chose to handle it, but it is what it is. I mean, this is how Wuthering Waves want to handle their characters, and I really don't like it, but like I do understand that like when comparing the situation that we're in, being that they're gonna make a collab and they're clearly gonna make it bang. Like they've invested so many resources. They've obviously tied a little bit of the lore into it with Lucy having a tacit mark, which I saw from one of the Twitter posts, and that's all fine and dandy. But it is really just a shame that it is definitely gonna shaft some of the main game content. As a result, we already see that happen, in the last few patches. But either way, it's still exciting. I definitely want to pull for both Lucy and Lucilla. Hopefully I actually have the asteroids to do it because, oh boy, my asteroid savings are super duper low. But you guys can let me know, who you're pulling in the comment section below. But, that's going to do all for me. Definitely a much longer video, than usual. But, I appreciate you guys sticking with me. It has been very, very difficult to not have my voice for literally, an entire month and whatnot. And, I do hope I can get back to content, slowly. Still, it's going to take time. You can tell even through this video, I still have a little bit of a cough, but hey, speak of the devil. But, I am going to try my best to, start, getting back into the swing of things because I really do love this game and I still play it daily, even while I was sick, not able to create content on it. But, yeah, what is it? That's going to be all for today. What is it? Be sure to check out, all the stuff that we're doing on this channel. What is it? And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.